We back. Man, what a last, 12 hours it's been. I'm so excited for our young women to think about. I was here a year ago, and we were talking about where the program was and where we wanted to go, and for us to get back in the Ncaa tournament in year one. But most importantly, I just think, again, I couldn't be more excited for our young women. We came together. We brought back the returners. We brought in some great people. We looked in the room and we said, why not us? And then the first bracketology before the season even came out, it said first four out. And just the storylines and the narratives and just the group just being unrelentless fighters and wanting it so bad. And then finally to get to this point and finish the season and have that moment to hear their name call again. We're excited. We're ready to dance. And let's load up the plane and let's head to Notre Dame.
Rob, go ahead.
Knowing kind of the process of building this roster when you first got here, and the program hadn't been to the tournament in a couple of years. I mean, have you had a chance just to really kind of dive in mentally about how far this journey has come and just putting this roster together and putting a team in the tournament?
No. I mean, it's just been, as you know, we've talked about it. You just go so fast, right? Who's coming back? Who can we get? Try to hurry and build that chemistry, take what's come. Again, I can't talk enough about the character of this team. We've had injuries, we've had sicknesses, we've had people go down, we've had people come together. So it's been just like, let's find a way. Let's be relentless, and most important, let's be some dogs, some Mississippi State Bulldogs and underdogs, and let's just prove people wrong. And, man, we've been enjoying the journey, and when the season comes in, we'll reflect on that. But right now, we're riding the wave, and, boy, what a great wave it is.
I guess between you and Alana and Romani, the people on this team who have NCAA experience, how valuable is that with a lot of players on this roster who don't?
Yeah, it's huge, but I think it's for me it's not so much the experience. It's just it's looking at a group of individuals who came together. Right now, and just let's go in there. Let's take the bumps and the bruises and the good moments we had in the SEC, because it's a beast, especially when you have the national champions in your conference, and let's take those learning experiences and let's find a way come March.
Grace and Colin.
Yesterday was the 1 year since your press conference here as getting introduced as the new head coach. What was it like to celebrate that milestone with punching your ticket to the dance?
A great one, right? Again, it's funny how life works out when you speak things into existence. And again, I can't thank the young women that we have, the coaching staff who joined me, the administration, my support staff. The people just put in work. To come and sit down when you say, hey, we got a dreams, we got a vision, we know how special this place is, but most importantly, we think we can do special things together. And for that moment, you need a signature moment. You need a moment to reflect. Back to your question, Robbie, early. So for us to be at my house last night on pins and needles, watching Jans. So congratulations to men's basketball as well. We watched the excitement they went through, and then if you watch the video, it was a unique situation. The show was way different than the men's show. We're sitting there, and we were like, all right, here we go. We're waiting for the names, and my wife, who's sitting right beside me, all of a sudden like, hey, wait, we're the playing game. And I was like, no, babe, they didn't set our name up there. And, we had all the people, we're waiting to go crazy. And next thing you know, they have the screen up there, and we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I yell out, we're in. Like, there wasn't like Mississippi State's in. And then the next thing you're trying to figure out is, wait, when do we play? What time? And then we're all piecing together. So as much excitement as this has been now that we know what's going on, it's just been a crazy 24 hours and just a grateful opportunity.
Colin and Robbie.
You and Sean agreed, both first-year head coaches getting their programs into the tournament. I think it was the first time Illinois has been since 2003 or something.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I know you have a little bit more time than Chris Jans to scout out the next team, but what's it like, the process of just 2 days before you have to play them?
Wow, yeah, it's interesting to say the least. You know, obviously we found out late last night. My staff is unbelievable. We were already in the war room. I had 2 tables at my house, one for the players to eat, and the other one had laptops for my coaching staff to go to work. We immediately logged in and started watching as much film. We're going to meet here in an hour because we've got dogs we've got to put up. We've got to pack our bags. We're on a plane here at 2 o'clock. So we're going to find a way. We'll practice when we get up there. We're not going to practice here. We'll meet with the team and feed them at lunch, and we'll put a scout together to give us a chance to win here come Wednesday night.
You have the tie with Corey being from there and up there, but of course the new coaching staff, so I'm sure there's a lot of different things this year, but how much does she help knowing probably some of that personnel and some of those players?
Oh, huge, yeah. There's only a couple of players. I talked to her about it last night that she had when she was there. They've done a great job, just like we have in year one, of bringing other players in for what they had. She brought a lot of her players with her from Dayton. And then obviously there was a young lady from Michigan State and some other schools. So even though Corey's obviously aware of Illinois and a couple of those players, there's a lot of new players that she brought in. So it's not as easy as just saying last year's team. They're different, we're different, and just 2 teams that are hungry to find a way.
I want to ask specifically about Ncaa. I mean, she's come in, accepted a different role than maybe other programs would have offered her. What does it mean that, a player like that can be rewarded with, a trip to March Madness finally?
I just think it's a definition of why we're having team success. She's a team player. We talked about it all year. She's good enough to start. She's a special young lady, but for the role that I needed for our team this year, I needed energy. I needed a spark off the bench. And I think that's where you've watched us this year, that we've been fun to watch because of people like her character. She loves her teammates and she loves her team, and she's willing to take on any role. And when you have someone like her and other group of young women on our team like that, that's why you're able to have moments like this and get in March Madness and do special things.
Obviously, a disappointing outcome, last game against Texas A&M, but have had a lot of time to kind of reset things. What are the last week and a half been like for y'all, just trying to get back on the floor and get back ready for the tournament?
Yeah, I think they're learning experiences. First let's go to LSU, right? What an awesome environment that was. 15,000 on someone else's court, which I told everybody before going in that game. Women's basketball landscape's different from men. We're going to Notre Dame. So obviously we'll have, their home crowd there. And obviously Illinois is close, so we'll probably expect a large crowd from them there. So you got to find a way on the road so we can reflect back to that LSU game. And then Texas A&M, it's March Madness. The beautiful thing about women's basketball, there's a lot of parity. I talked about Texas A&M before we went. That's a different team. They battled injuries. Ncaa Barker was one of the number 1 player in the country in some polls. She was out, she was back. They were good, they were clicking at the right time, and our team had to learn that each possession matters. And then obviously you want to avoid bad quarters. And when you look back on that game, we had a bad second quarter. And sometimes, you need moments like that so you can make special things happen later. So hopefully we can come out, we can look back when we talk after the game here in Illinois and say, you know what, we learned a lot from that Texas A&M game.
I saw that y'all had a Why Not Us cake. I know we've talked about
Yeah.
it before, but can you take me through where that started and just kind of how you embodied that moment throughout the season?
Yeah, I think it started like when I took the job, right? We all know the storylines and things that were said. The history here is unbelievable. That's why I took the job. Women's basketball matters, but there was a lot of just pulse around the country that were like, man, it's over. Mississippi's done. They had the glory years. They can't get back. And then obviously, who's leaving? Who's coming back? Then when we brought in, found out the returners were coming, and then we brought in the new ones, we just sat down on the table and we're like, hey, are y'all listening to this? Because I'm not, and everybody had that same pulse. They were like, why not us? If we all work as hard as anybody in the country and outwork other people, why can't we do something special? Why can't we get back? And then, like I said, the first bracketology, which that's the media's job, right, is to get storylines and get people talking. They were like, y'all are out. And we were like, out? Sure, we had a great summer. We're working. So it just kept fueling the fire. Why not us? Why are people sleeping on us? And then the SEC media poll came out. Y'all going to finish 8th, right? You know, and I think we finished fifth, tied for fifth. And so we just kept having that agenda, and everything that's come our way, everybody keeps on saying we can't do it. Y'all are done. This player's done. This player's been at one school. They can't, have success at another one. And I got a great group of young women who are fighters, who believe in each other, and they've done the work. And so because of all that, that's why Not Us has come alive. And it's great to see that when you believe in something and you roll up your sleeve, again, to be rewarded to dance Here Come March is awesome.
Was that cake tasty?
You know what's funny? This is a true story. So it was a crazy experience with the selection show. Next thing you know, we were like, oh my God, we got to pack. Like, we're in the play-in game. We're the first game in women's basketball, which I love, again, which is why not us? Why not us be the first game where all eyes will be on us? I think that's the beauty of playing this game, because there's, especially across the world, everybody wants to watch basketball right now. So there's not any other basketball game going on, I believe, at 7 o'clock, or is it 6 o'clock Central? I know we were seeing those other tweets and storylines. We're all trying to figure it out. But, yeah, we're the first game in women's basketball. So we started moving and shaking. Nobody got a piece of the cake. We left, and, of course, my kids crushed it with ice cream. So to answer your question, it was good. I just didn't get a chance for my players to eat it.
I think the transfer portal was about to open up. How do y'all balance, preparing the team that you got in front of you with building the roster, because that's become such a big part of your program. You got to get players on board early. How do y'all balance that?
Listen, if you have the answer for that, I think every coach in America would be paying you on the side, right? It's a different landscape. I keep saying it. That's why we're going to enjoy this process right now. Obviously, our focus and our attention, that's why I told my coaching staff, we're going to give everything we have to these young women. We're not going to let our mind go anywhere else. We have a responsibility because they came here to play, and they came here to compete for championships and make deep runs in March, that the staff that's been hired, including me, got to make sure we put a scouting report and put them in preparation to win, and that's where our focus is right now.
Is that frustrating for coaches having to start doing that? I mean, I don't want to get you in trouble or anything.
Too late. No, it's a little disappointing that they changed the portal date to the day after the selection show. I mean, we go from selection show Monday to portal Monday, So again, I'd rather focus on the positive, and we're a part of the selection show and the big dance. So again, that's where our focus is, but it's the NCAA. They put the rules in place, and you know what? You got to find a way.
Have you ever played up in South Bend while you were at Louisville?
I did, yeah. You know what?
In that environment?
Oh, it's awesome. I got so many great things to say about Notre Dame. First of all, I'm going to quiz everybody else. Do you know the name of the arena?
It's Purcell Pavilion.
Bam! Purcell Pavilion. So I absolutely love it, okay? I love fate, just like I told you in the NCAA tournament. All right, for me, the biggest game of my life was Mississippi State and Louisville in the NCAA tournament, and then now guess what? My first game ever coaching in the NCAA tournament is the Purcell Pavilion. It's funny how life works out. I'm going to have to talk to the Notre Dame people to find out Mr. Purcell or Mrs., whoever that person is. I'm actually talking to my parents about this because maybe they didn't know there's a relative, all right, that I didn't know about that I really need to learn really quick while I'm up there at South Bend. But it's going to be cool. And again, back to your question, their fans, I have so much respect for them. They value women's basketball up there a lot. We had some great games when I was an assistant at Louisville up there where it was absolutely sold out. They have rich history for women's basketball. I expect them to come out for our games in the play-in because that's just who they are as people and a community. So it's going to be a good time and a great experience for my young women.